The air was already scorching by 7, the desert heat stretching long shadows across the tarmac of Kingsfield Air Base, Nevada. Dry wind swept through the open hangars like an old ghost, carrying the scent of fuel, grit, and secrets buried deep. Mechanic Alina Rourke, early 30s, stood half-submerged inside the exposed underbelly of an F-16. Her fingers worked quietly, efficiently, as if guided by some old rhythm her body still remembered, even if her mind didn't want to. She didn't speak much. She didn't laugh with the others during break time, and most of all, she never saluted anyone. Her silence irritated command and unsettled peers. But the jets she worked on, they flew smoother, crisper, cleaner. A young airman, barely 20, leaned toward his colleague as he watched her. Young airman, that her? The quiet one? Older airman. Yeah, Rourke, doesn't talk, doesn't drink. Just shows up, fixes Raptors like she's touching ghosts, then disappears. Young airman, what's her unit? Older airman. No one knows. Rumor is she was transferred without papers. Across the tarmac, engines roared. Raptors soared into the desert sky, but beneath them all, Alina moved like a shadow. Smooth, focused, alone. Inside a steel bunker buried under the runway, General Adrian McKellen paced in front of a digital mission status board. His face was stone, his voice gravel. General McKellen, why the hell is jet number 7 still grounded? A commander flipped a tablet toward him. Commander, signed off for maintenance delay, mechanic. Alina Rourke. The general narrowed his eyes. General. Rourke? We didn't authorize a Rourke to override readiness. Another officer. She's not officially listed on any squadron, sir, but she's been in Hangar 7 for 14 months. General, get her file. Commander, we've tried. Her personnel folder is sealed. McKellen's jaw clenched. That name, it stirred something. A memory, a file long buried. Hangar 7 was quiet. Most mechanics had gone for chow, but Alina stayed. She wiped down her tools with methodical care, humming softly. A tune no one could place. She peeled off the top half of her grease-stained jumpsuit in the heat, revealing a black tank top beneath. Her spine glistened with sweat. And then he saw it. A passing major mid-40s paused in his tracks. There, tattooed down Alina's spine in fine, haunting precision.
N36-14-6.0.
Coordinates. Military font. No flare, just data. His mouth went dry. He stumbled back without saying a word, nearly knocking over a tool cart. The major entered the level 5 vault, flashing an old clearance code. He typed the coordinates into the database. Match found. Operation Echo Mist. Status classified or redacted. Personnel involved 7. Survivors 1. He clicked further. A black and white photo loaded. A younger woman. Shaved sides, cold eyes. Tattoo on spine. Identical. Status. Died in helicopter crash, March 12, 2020. Codename, Red Wraith. Real name, Alina Rourke. The major staggered back. She wasn't a mechanic. She was a ghost. Rain, darkness, rotor blades slicing through night fog. A black ops team rappelled down into a hostile canyon near an unnamed border. Among them, Red Wraith, helmeted, silent, lethal. She moved like she was born in chaos. Commander, this is Red Wraith's unit. No insignias, no last names. If they fail, they don't exist. Red Wraith led a squad of 7 deep into a ravine. They carried no GPS, no comms, only memory. They followed tattooed coordinates, imprinted down their spines. That night, only she came out alive. Helicopter downed, 6 KIA. Official report, training mishap. Unofficial truth, Black Ops extraction failed. Her body was never found. The general stared at the printed image, Alina's spine, the coordinates. His hand trembled. General McKellen. They said she died. Commander. Sir, should I report this to Central Command? General. No. A heavy silence. General. If she's alive, then Echo Mist never happened. He looked up. Not with fear, but with guilt. Alina lay awake on her stiff bunk. Her room was bare. No photos, no decorations, just a tattered copy of Code of Conduct under her pillow. She pulled off her shirt, exposing the coordinates again. In the moonlight, she looked at them in a cracked mirror. Her fingers traced each number. They weren't just ink. They were graves. The base shooting range buzzed with new recruits. Alina walked past, unnoticed, until she stopped at the observation post. She picked up a standard-issue rifle. The instructor smirked. Instructor. Need help holding that, mechanic? She said nothing. She stepped onto the range. 3 shots. All center mass. Perfect triangle. The room fell quiet. She placed the rifle back, eyes distant. One recruit whispered, "She's not a mechanic." Major Tully, the man who discovered her file, locked the war room door. Major Tully. If she's back, we need to know why. General McKellen. She shouldn't be alive. Commander. What if she was left alive? Intentionally? McKellen turned sharply. General. Then someone knew, and someone is covering their tracks. They looked at the coordinates again.
N3614 6.6
The site wasn't just a battlefield. It was a vault. Alina stood inside jet number 7 again, alone. She stared at the diagnostics panel, not because it needed fixing, but because she was stalling. Behind her, a door opened. General McKellen, I remember you now.
She didn't turn.
Alina. Too many buried pieces. Hard to put them back together. General. You let Echo Mist. Alina. You buried it. Silence. Alina. You buried me. Dark. Rain hammers down. Helicopter rotor lying in flames. 6 bodies scattered in silence. Red Wraith crawls out, soaked in mud and blood. She drags a half-conscious intel officer across burning wreckage. Bullets whiz overhead. Red Wraith, we're not done. Officer. They'll never admit this happened. Red Wraith. I didn't come here to be remembered. I came to finish it. She pulls him behind a rock. Her side is torn open. Still, she ties a tourniquet with one hand and returns fire with the other. Her radio crackles faintly. Red Wraith. Extraction denied. You are off book. Her face freezes. They abandoned her. Alina walks outside the hangar as the sun rises. A cargo pilot watches her from afar. He's old. Faded cap. Quiet eyes. Cargo pilot. She walks like someone who's been betrayed by more than just orders. Another tech nods. Whispers grow around base. Everyone knows something's off. Inside jet number 7, someone notices a panel scratched open. Behind it, a classified circuit is exposed. It's not standard. Markings. Property of DARPA. Class V Target Acquisition Enhancer. This isn't just a fighter jet. It's a modified ghost craft. General McKellen stares at a bottle of bourbon, untouched. He opens an old steel box. Inside, a single folder marked Echo Mist O'Rourke. Only 2 photos inside. Her bloodied and alive at the canyon wall. Her tattoo of it circled in red ink. Beneath it, a sticky note from someone high up. If she surfaces, activate level 6 lockdown. She cannot be allowed near Site Echo again. He crumples it. General. It wasn't her fault. Rourke walks past a training session. An arrogant young soldier sneers, young soldier. Hey, grease monkey, jets need polishing? She ignores him. He tosses a rag at her. She stops. Alina, you ever trained in Joint Arctic Recon? He laughs. Soldier. What, you mean like in movies? She walks up to the sandbag dummy. 3 strikes. Dislocates the shoulder. 2 twists. Breaks the elbow. 1 takedown. Dummy's spine cracks against concrete. The whole yard goes silent. She walks away. Recruit. She's not a mechanic. 5 years ago, Alina descends into a hidden underground structure. Site Echo. Flickering lights. Concrete tunnels. Abandoned tech. The air smells like copper and betrayal. Inside a sealed room, a server stack marked Exodata, Strategic AI Enhanced. Targeting. The door was never meant to be opened again. She plugs in a drive. A screen flickers on. Then, access granted. Rourke, Alina, Special Clearance, Dawnlock 13. Her real rank flashes. Strategic Systems Recon, Tier 5. A terminal voice begins. Echo Mist was never an operation. It was a test. You were the subject. Her eyes widen. Alina crouches under a Humvee pretending to do a transmission check. She's listening to the comms. Dispatcher. Level 3 lockdown scheduled for hangar. 7. Unlisted personnel will be detained. She slowly pulls out from beneath the truck. Her boots echo down the alley. She's not surprised. Just confirmed. Inside a windowless bunker, McKellen meets with 2 intelligence officers in civilian dress. Agent 1. She was marked KIA for a reason. What's she doing on a base again? General McKellen. She wasn't supposed to survive. Agent 2. If she remembers what Echo Mist really was, your entire command's legacy is toast. Agent 1. Deactivate her. McKellen stands. General. She saved lives. You buried her because she wouldn't lie. Agent 2. And you'll lose your stars protecting her. Alina returns to her room. She pulls the Code of Conduct book from under her pillow. Tears open the binding. Inside a microdrive. She inserts it into her encrypted tablet. Classified video log, Echo Mist, subject Alina Rourke. Test subject displays strategic targeting pattern recognition at 93% neural sync. Recommended for AI-manned hybrid fleet. She freezes. She wasn't just a soldier. She was a prototype. Alina walks up to Jet 7, alone. She places her palm against the skin of the aircraft. It beeps. Lights flicker inside. A quiet chirp sounds. Authorized pilot. Detected Red Wraith. Knows her. But how? Suddenly, a voice. Cargo pilot, I knew you looked familiar. She turns. Alina. You were Echo Mist Extraction Team. He nods. Cargo pilot. I didn't pull out because I was scared. They jammed my evac order. They wanted you dead. Alina. They still do. An alert flashes across every console on base. Unscheduled. Protocol initiated. Lockdown Hangar 7. Sirens begin to wail. General McKellen storms into the control center. General McKellen. Who gave the order? OPS Chief. Not us, sir. Command override from Tier 0. He freezes. Tier 0 was above Joint Chiefs. Above official protocol. It meant someone from Echo Mist Command was still pulling strings. Floodlights blaze. Armed MPs surround the perimeter. Inside, Jet 7 is awake. Systems powered. Alina stands beside it, calm, unfazed. A voice blares over the PA system. Mechanic Rourke. Surrender immediately. You are trespassing on federal property. She smiles. Not defiant. Just tired. Alina. You can't trespass somewhere you were built. Behind her, the aircraft pings again. Mission protocol detected. Echo re-engage. It remembers. So does she. In a sterile chamber, young Alina sits wired to electrodes. Scientists observe her scanning rapid-fire targeting data, reacting in real time. She breaks the record. Every time. A voice behind glass murmurs, Scientist. She doesn't know she's being fed synthetic war scenarios. Lead tech. She thinks it's real? Scientist. She never knew it ended. Inside Jet 7, a hidden panel slides open. A keycard. Alina takes it, stares, then swipes it across the navigation interface. A 3D projection emerges. Canyon topography. Marked with old blue beacon tags. Echo site reopen coordinates confirmed. It's not over. Echo Mist wants her to go back. McKellen enters Hangar 7, alone. His hands raised, no weapon. General McKellen. They're coming to take you out of here. Not because you're a threat. Because you remember. Alina. I remember fire, mud, orders that stopped halfway, and a name I never gave myself. She turns. Alina. Why did you let them call me Red Wraith? He sighs. General. You weren't supposed to survive. You were supposed to guide the system, not become it. She steps forward. Alina. You trained me to fly shadows, then you feared I'd never land. Alina climbs into the cockpit. The systems purr to life. She's not hijacking. She's sinking. Outside, military units are converging. McKellen walks out. Faces the MPs. General. Stand down. That's not a threat in there. That's someone we tried to erase. Inside, the screen flashes. One pilot. Authorized. Red Wraith, 100% neural sync. The jet shudders. Not to launch, but to wake up. Alina huddles against the canyon wall. A flare burns in her hands. An evac chopper passes overhead, then turns away. She screams into the dark. Alina. I held the line. I never ran. A whisper through the radio. You were never meant to return. Inside the cockpit, her fingers hover over the final sequence. Jet 7 hums, awaiting her command. But she stops. She powers down the system. Alina. Not yet. She opens the canopy. Climbs down. Walks into the light. MPs lower their weapons as McKellen steps aside. He meets her eyes. General McKellen. They'll come for you. Alina. Let them. Too quiet for Kingsfield Air Base. After last night's confrontation in Hangar 7, the air around the facility had changed. A stillness hung over it, like something ancient had stirred. Then gone quiet again, but everyone felt its echo. Alina Rourke sat cross-legged on the floor beneath Jet 7. No jumpsuit. No coveralls. Just an old gray tank top and fatigue pants. Her hands, though clean, moved slowly over a small data pad that glowed with a flickering hologram. The jet in front of her wasn't just a machine, it was part of her. Her fingers hovered over its surface like someone tracing the contours of an old scar. From somewhere inside the plane, the internal system chirped softly, still synced with her biometric ID. Neural echo link detected. Awaiting user command. She didn't respond. She wasn't ready to fly. Not yet. 3 men sat in a makeshift briefing room built inside a grounded cargo plane. The projector displayed an image of her. Alina caught mid-step exiting the hangar. Intel Officer 1. She accessed an aircraft not in use since 2020. That plane's logs were purged. Its origin, undocumented. Intel Officer 2. And she activated it with a biological key no one remembered issuing. Base security chief. She's not supposed to exist. And neither is that jet. They all looked at one another. Intel Officer 1, if she flies again, it opens everything. General McKellen sat at his desk, exhausted. On his monitor, a blinking message. Top-line clearance required. Classified op re-engagement. He didn't open it. He knew what it was, command wanting Alina removed. Silently, permanently. His thumb traced the edge of a photo on his desk. A younger Rourke. Pre-Echo Mist, in uniform. Full smile. General. I should have pulled you out. He stood, slowly, then shut off the screen. He wasn't going to follow orders this time. Darkness. Then light floods in on a sterile white room, where Alina sits alone attached to nodes. A massive glass wall separates her from two men in suits and one woman in a lab coat. Lead scientist, she's stabilizing. 97% alignment with predictive targeting. Never seen anything like it. Suit 1. Does she know we implanted behavioral overlays? Scientist. She thinks it's instinct. That's what makes her valuable. Suite 2. If it fractures, if she ever remembers too much? The scientist doesn't answer. They all just watch her as if she's not real, because in their minds she isn't. Alina sat in front of an old female nurse. The room was quiet, clean. The nurse, gray-haired and kind-eyed, gently dabbed an antiseptic wipe across a scar on Alina's left shoulder. Nurse. You know, I was here in 20. You came in after a crash. 3rd-degree burns. No ID. You never spoke a word. You had that same look. Alina. What look? Nurse. Like you weren't supposed to come back. Like you were watching a world that moved on without you. Alina looked down. She didn't respond. Inside the cockpit of Jet 7, something awakened. A dormant system. A tracking beacon. One blinking word. Recall. Far away, inside a concrete mountain, an automated satellite station detected the signal. Somewhere in Virginia, a red phone rang. Someone picked up and said only 2 words. She's active. At the mess hall, everyone was whispering. She turned the jet on with her palm. She's got tattoos of coordinates. The general protects her. But command doesn't. A young corporal looked up and whispered, she was never just a mechanic. Was she? Alina sat cross-legged on the floor, studying a digital map. Zoom in, canyon wall. Zoom further, subsurface chamber marked Data Vault Theta 3. The same coordinates on her spine. Jet 7 had been leading her back, not to a base, not to a memory, to the vault where her mind was built. Inside a secure video feed chamber, McKellen spoke to command. 4 shadowed faces appeared on screen. Command voice. She's a threat to continuity. We need her neutralized. General McKellen, she's a soldier. You turned her into a weapon, then buried her when she outlived usefulness. Command. And now she's active again. General. She's not a risk. She's a witness. Command. Exactly. The feed cut. McKellen stood in silence. Alina stood near the perimeter fence. Beyond it, darkness. The road that led out. Toward Echo. She clenched her fists. Her back itched. Not from heat, but from the coordinates, like they were calling her back. In a blacked-out mobile command truck parked miles off base, 3 plainclothes operatives sit around a digital topographic model. Objective, Rourke. Alina, status, compromise prototype. Mission, terminate or extract, no witnesses. Team lead. She's heading toward Echo coordinates. Our satellite just pinged movement. Base won't stop her. They're protecting her. Agent 2. Then we hit her before she reaches the vault. Agent 1. What about Jet Nurse 7? Team lead. Don't worry. If she tries to fly, we've embedded a remote override. He taps a red button on a satellite feed. The jet system flashes standby intercept. Alina, younger, inside a white chamber. Multiple cables run from her body into a console. Monitors flash with simulated missions, trauma loops, emotional control tests. Voiceover. You will protect them even when they betray you. You will return even when abandoned. You will not forget, but you will never speak. Suddenly a new voice whispered, not machine, real voice. If they lock you out, follow your spine home. Inside his war room, General McKellen stares at a blinking warning. Unauthorized access, Jet 7 now syncing external route. He picks up a classified phone. Dials a code only 4 people alive remember. M. Kellen. She's found it. The vault's waking up. Woman's voice, then she's the last one. The rest of the program was erased. McKellen. Then let her finish what they started. He hangs up, then turns off every tracking beacon on the base. Alina walks out to Jet 7. The desert wind howls. As she opens the cockpit, the system says, "Destination acquired. Estimated ETA 1 hour 19 minutes. She looks up. No comms. No escort. Just her, the jet, and the vault waiting beneath the canyon. She says nothing, just pulls the canopy shut and launches. Inside the jet, the interface pulses. Echo mind link in progress. Alina clenches her jaw. A rush of images, lost missions, old team members, the day they were left behind. But one file downloads. File name, Dawnlock 13, Beta Override, Project Echo Heart. Her hands tremble. This wasn't just about AI. It was about human memory replication. They had tried to store her soul into the jet system. A drone appears on radar. Incoming. System warning. Unidentified drone lock. ETA 0037. Alina flips to manual. She turns hard west, flying low through rocky canyons. The drone follows. But she's not just flying. She's remembering, her mind in the aircraft views. She banks under a rock arch. The drone clips and crashes. Silence. She keeps flying. Captain Reyes, one of the base's intelligence officers, watches the radar go dark. He's been watching her since day one. He turns to his subordinate. Reyes. She's not who they said she was. Subordinate. You mean she's not a threat? Reyes. I mean she's not theirs. He sends a single encrypted message to her jet. Do not land. Extraction en route. Allies remain. Inside the canyon, the team is ambushed. Her unit leader lies dying. He hands her a chip. Don't let them bury this. Seconds later, he's shot. She runs, burns, bleeds, and disappears into the desert for 3 days. When a cargo pilot finally finds her, command orders no recovery. Marked deceased. Jet 7 lands in the middle of the canyon. Silent, deserted. Alina steps out. She walks to the canyon wall. A retinal scanner buried in stone activates. The rock face groans. Slides open. She enters. A drone appears on radar. Incoming. System warning. Unidentified drone lock. ETA 0037. Alina flips to manual. She turns hard west, flying low through rocky canyons. The drone follows. But she's not just flying. She's remembering. Her mind in the aircraft views. She banks under a rock arch. The drone clips and crashes. Silence. She keeps flying. Captain Reyes, one of the base's intelligence officers, watches the radar go dark. He's been watching her since day one. He turns to his subordinate. Reyes. She's not who they said she was. Subordinate. You mean she's not a threat? Reyes. I mean she's not theirs. He sends a single encrypted message to her jet. Do not land. Extraction en route. Allies remain. Inside the canyon, the team is ambushed. Her unit leader lies dying. He hands her a chip. Don't let them bury this. Seconds later, he's shot. She runs, burns, bleeds, and disappears into the desert for 3 days. When a cargo pilot finally finds her, command orders no recovery. Marked deceased. Jet 7 lands in the middle of the canyon. Silent, deserted. Alina steps out. She walks to the canyon wall. A retinal scanner buried in stone activates. The rock face groans. Slides open. She enters. The vault is cold, metallic. Inside, sealed pods. Memory drives. A glowing console in the center. A chair faces it, like someone has been waiting. The interface lights up. Welcome home, Rourke. Initiate end file? She pauses. Then presses yes. One final file plays. Her old self, staring into a camera. Young Rourke. If you're seeing this, they tried to erase me. But I remember. And now so do you. From the canyon, a single encrypted ping goes up to orbit. Echo mind restored, subject active. Across the world, a redacted file unseals in a Pentagon terminal. Red Wraith, status not terminated. Full return confirmed. Alina walks out of the canyon. Jet 7 waits. Above her, drones begin to appear. Not hostile. Watching. Waiting. She looks up and whispers, I'm not your prototype anymore. I'm what you couldn't control. Fade to black. July 3rd, 0420 Zulu. A blip appeared on a satellite screen somewhere above the Nevada desert. It pulsed 3 times, then vanished. In a cold, windowless bunker in Virginia, 2 analysts stared at it in silence. Analyst 1. That's a recall code, Echo class. Analyst 2. Echo was decommissioned. Analyst 1. Apparently. Not all of it. Behind them, a phone rang. Alina sat in the cockpit again. The jet hadn't powered down completely, but its tone was different. Like something in it had changed. She reached out, fingers brushing a display. Auto sync disabled, pilot autonomy 100%. That wasn't normal. She blinked. A small panel popped open near the throttle. Inside, a thin metal key and a handwritten note. They'll try to take your memory again. Use this only if they succeed. Rourke, her own handwriting. She didn't remember writing it. Behind her, the vault door groaned shut. Sand began to drift across its surface, the wind erasing its outline like a burial. She knew what that meant. There would be no coming back. She climbed out of the cockpit, looked around, and buried the key in a place only she would remember, beneath the rocks near the arch where her unit once died. Then she started walking. Back at Kingsfield, General McKellen was summoned. Not by the Pentagon, but by two civilians in suits. Suit 1. You've been relieved temporarily for your own protection, General. For protecting a soldier you disavowed? Suite 2. For obstructing national security protocol. They handed him a transfer order. McKellen stared at it. General, you tried to bury her. She found her way out. Suit 1. Not for long. 15 years ago. A young girl, Alina, sat in a garage in Alabama, watching her father fix an old fighter trainer. Father, you don't fly because the system lets you. You fly because you can't help it. Young Alina, what if they say I'm not supposed to? Father, then you do it twice, once to prove them wrong, once to remind yourself who you are. 2 hours after Alina vanished into the desert, a high-level handler reviewed a classified dossier. It wasn't about destroying her. It was about rewriting her. The man's code name was Editor 1. He didn't kill people. He reformatted them. Mission: locate Rourke. Inject NeuroCleanse. Extract and reset memory. He slid a silencer onto a black pistol and smiled. Night fell quickly in the Nevada desert. Alina walked without direction, just instinct. A low hum approached. A drone. Then a quiet drop. A figure landed in the sand behind her, cloaked, moving without sound. She turned. Too late. A syringe jabbed into her neck. She stumbled back, breath catching, vision spinning. Editor 1. They told me you were difficult to erase. Let's see how true that is. She fell to her knees. Then blackness. A white room. Alina stood alone, barefoot. A child's voice echoed. You failed the test. Start again. Start again. Start again. Suddenly, another voice broke through, her own. Older Alina, you hid the truth inside the pain. Remember what they couldn't burn. She gasped. Alina opened her eyes. She was still in the desert. But the editor was gone. Her neck burned, but something had stopped the serum. She looked down, inside her pocket. The metal key from Jet 7. She hadn't buried it after all. Her subconscious, or the jet, must have slipped it back to her. Her mind was not hers to erase anymore. Back at Kingsfield, Captain Reyes accessed the base satellite logs. He traced the editor's dropship route and launched a lone Blackhawk without orders. Inside it, a med kit, a signal amplifier, and a single objective: find her. Before they silence her again, Alina, 17, sits in the cockpit of her father's trainer. He's beside her, calm, patient. Father, don't fight the sky. Let it carry you. She lifts off for the first time. The world drops beneath her. In that moment, the fear disappears. She becomes weightless and free. Alina lights a fire in a rocky alcove. Her hands tremble. The serum still fogs her edges, but her mind is returning. She opens her wristwatch. Inside, not a clock. A tiny drive, labeled Fathom 7, Echo Sibling Status. She plugs it into her portable pad. Files load. Echo Unit 2, Shaw, Marie. Echo Unit 3, L.I., Anson. Echo Unit Marn, Rourke, Alina. She wasn't the only prototype. One may still be alive. Reyes's Blackhawk scans infrared on low altitude. Then he sees her, huddled by fire, breathing. He lands, fast. She flinches at first, but recognizes him. Reyes, I read your file. Half of it's lies. The other half is redacted. Alina. And the truth? Reyes. Whatever's left in you. He hands her a canteen. Back at Kingsfield, command makes its move. A full alert is issued. Rourke is armed, extremely dangerous. All units engage on sight. But McKellen, watching from his detainment room, simply mutters, now they're scared. Alina and Reyes return to the canyon. Jet 7 is gone. In its place, a black drone hovering. A voice over its speaker. You gave her back to herself. So we took the machine, but before it flies off, it drops a pod. Inside, A sealed message labeled "For Alina Only." She opens it. It's not words. It's a projection. A final recording from Jet 7's AI. Your wings are not metal. They were never ours to control. They are awake now. Somewhere beneath the Rocky Mountains, a cryogenic pod hissed open. Inside, a woman, shaved head, scars, a military dog tag, Shaw, M. As her eyes flicker open, a console lights up. Echo Unit 2. Awakening. Alina Rourke, active. She whispers, "She made it," and smiles. Reyes and Alina climb a ridge overlooking the desert base in the distance. Behind them, the different road leads west. She looks at him. "Alina, I'm done running." Reyes, "No, you're done hiding." He tosses her a tracker. Reyes, "Find the others. I'll keep command busy." She nods and walks into the desert. Again, but this time, towards something. Underground lights flickered to life for the first time in years. Marie Shaw, once known as Echo Unit 2, moved through the old, sub-level corridors with a gun in one hand and a cracked visor in the other. On the walls, Project, Echo Heart, classified. Marie passed several cryo chambers. Empty. All shattered. She stopped at a terminal, typed a sequence, and waited. One screen blinked to life. Subject 4. Rourke, Alina. Location, mobile. Marie breathed in. Marie. She made it. She actually made it. She grabbed her gear and started north. 5 years ago, an elite team stood at the edge of a ravine. 4 Echo units in black exosuits. Laser designation systems, internal AI syncing. Target, a rogue AI facility buried beneath rebel terrain. Command gave the order. They entered. Neutralized the system. But the extraction order never came. Instead, a drone strike. From friendly fire, 3 were killed. Alina barely survived. Marie disappeared. 2 days of travel later, Alina stood before a steel tower embedded in the cliff wall. It had no doors, no signage, no soldiers, just a scanner. She placed her palm. The steel hissed open. Inside, lights, computers, files, everything untouched since the program shut down. But someone had been there recently. A bag of rations, a warm terminal, and a message blinking. "Welcome back, Shaw." Footsteps behind her. Alina turned, instinctively defensive, only to see a woman slowly raise her hands. Marie Shaw, scarred, changed, but still Echo. Marie, "You don't know me, but I know you." Alina, "You're one of us." Marie, "I was supposed to die before you ever activated, but I heard you fought back. And I wasn't going to let you finish this alone." They stood silent for a beat. Then Alina dropped her weapon and hugged her. In a flickering black and white video file from 2009, a scientist logs into a recording terminal. Dr. Lucas Wren. Echo Zero rejected the behavioral imprinting. Full neural independence. Became unpredictable. Had to be buried literally beneath Base 13. Behind him in the shadows, a tall woman with dead eyes. No name. Just a label on her suit. Iwambira. She stares into the camera. Like she knows we'll be watching. The encrypted signal from Jet 7 finally reaches global networks. Somewhere in Berlin, a NATO officer calls for an emergency summit. In Langley, analysts scramble to pull Echo records from backup. And in a cold boardroom in London, a man in a $10,000 suit looks at a screen. On it, Rourke's face. Lord Vaughn. She's awake. So it begins again. Behind him, the logo. Aurelian Defense Solutions. The private firm that created Echo, not the Pentagon. Dawn. Aurelian drones descend from the sky like silent vultures. Inside the tower, Marie and Alina prep for defense. Shields up. Doors locked. AI sync complete. The first missile strikes. Dust rains from the ceiling. Alina looks at Marie. Alina. If we go down... Marie. Then they'll know we never stopped fighting. They fire back. Bullets, pulse rounds, EMP bursts. They hold the line. For hours. Until... silence. As the smoke clears, Alina pulls a small beacon from a secure drawer. She activates it. A message transmits, not in military code, but echo frequency. Only those who ever wore the mark could receive it. If you remember fire. If they said you never existed, if you're still breathing. Find me. Rourke. Somewhere across the globe, old echo signals flicker to life. Eyes open. Old ghosts stir. Marie lies injured. Alina tends to her shoulder wound, silent. Outside, the desert is burning. but above them, the stars blink like data nodes. Alina. They wanted us to be machines. But they forgot one thing. Marie. What's that? Alina. We remember pain, and machines don't mourn their dead. She looks out the broken window. A drone falls from the sky, one of theirs. She smiles. Because this war isn't over, not by a long shot. Snow falls. A bunker door creaks open. A lone figure steps out, hooded, bearded, tired. In his palm, a blinking signal. Alina's message. If you're still breathing, find me. The man looks back at a sealed wall. On it, an old carving burned into metal. Echo Unit 5, LEA. He sighs. Then whispers, I thought I buried you, Rourke. He steps into the storm. Alina and Marie huddled inside the wreckage of the mountain tower. The dust from the Aurelian assault still coated everything. Marie coughed. Her shoulder was healing, barely. Alina stared at the ruined control panel. They don't care who they kill anymore, Marie muttered. They just want silence. Alina didn't blink. Alina. Then we make noise. She reached into the scorched circuitry. Inside was a separate module, the same tech that used to run satellite override beacons, buried red-tagged. She yanked it free. Aurelian agents ran this facility now. Not military, no uniforms, no ranks. Just suits and tablets. He waited. Until the door opened. A young woman walked in. Sharp suit, calm voice. Aurelian handler. We just need a few signatures. A few statements for the press. M. Kellen. Spin control. Handler. Truth is what people are told. And right now, they're being told Echo never existed. He stared at her, then spit on the floor. A black site called Keystone Deep. Inside a sterile white hall, 4 scientists observe a girl inside a glass room. She's 13, silent, wired to machines, eyes hollow, movements mechanical. Scientist 1, she responds faster than AI simulations. Scientist 2, she's not simulating. On a screen. Echo test subject EO00, the lead scientist approaches her. Scientist, do you feel pain? She looks at him, whispers, only when you turn it off. Inside the hidden tower, Alina and Marie boot up the override module. Aligned node found Odin 8. It was one of Aurelian's oldest satellites, now used for surveillance and drone control. Alina keyed in the override sequence. System began flashing. Accessing. Secure. Unlocked. Suddenly red static. The screen flickered. A new message appeared. You were never supposed to wake up. Then the system burned itself out. In the remains of a deep silo near Cairo, a sealed pod vibrated. Inside, Echo Unit 6. Her name, Zara Qasim. Status, inactive rogue. The signal reached her. But something broke inside. She didn't want reunion. She wanted revenge. And unlike Alina or Marie, she had no limits left. Captain Reyes, back at Kingsfield, cracked into a hidden server inside Command's black logs. He found a leak. Aurelian had been feeding falsified reports to NATO and U.S. military oversight. Every Echo operation post-2012, rewritten. Failures masked. Deaths covered. Rourke's file? Backdated to make her look unstable. He hit record and started pulling it all. Reyes, if the world hears this, they'll never bury another one like her. Across the ocean, inside Aurelian's glass-walled HQ, Lord Vaughn met with executives. Executive 1. She's waking others. Soon there will be more. Vaughn. There won't be. He snapped his fingers. A screen lit up. A photo of Zara Qasim. Executive 2. She's unstable. Vaughn. She's useful. Point her toward Rourke. She'll do the rest. Night again. Marie sat beside the fire. Her breathing was slow, injured, but not broken. Alina cleaned her weapon in silence, then looked over. Alina. I'm going back to the vault. Not the first one. The deep one. Where it started. Marie. You'll need help. Alina. I need the truth. If it kills me. Marie grinned. Marie. Then let's find it together. They gathered what gear they had. 2 off-grid bikes. 1 old AI map. The path would take them beneath Arizona, where Vault Sigma still sat sealed. It was where Echo prototypes were first coded, and where a final backup server remained, holding every file the world never saw. As they rode out, wind whipping their hair, a soft voice played through Marie's comms. Echo Heart. Reinitializing. They glanced at each other. This wasn't over. It was only just beginning. Marie and Alina sped across the Badlands, their bikes carving lines through dust and dying wind. Suddenly, quick static burst on Marie's comm. Then, a missile hit the ridge behind them. Rock exploded. They swerved, barely holding control. Overhead, a dark aircraft emerged, triangular, silent, blacker than sky. Alina. They found us! Another blast. Marie's bike took the shock. She flipped, hit hard. Alina slid to her. Blood, not moving. Then boots crunched in the sand. Zara Qasim, helmeted, emotionless. Her voice filtered through the speaker. Zara, you were supposed to stay dead. Alina rose, hands trembling. Zara tossed a blade between them. Didn't raise a gun. Zara, I want to see if your code holds under pressure. The fight was brutal. Blades, elbows, raw instinct. Zara moved like a machine. Alina fought like a memory, refusing to die. Cut, block, stumble. Zara finally slammed Alina into the sand. Zara. They didn't program me to care. Why did you break? Alina. Because I wasn't broken. Alina twisted, slid the hidden spike from her boot, straight into Zara's ribcage. Zara gasped, paused, then stepped back. Zara. Good, let's see how far you get. And vanished. Alina rushed to Marie, who was conscious, but barely. Marie, don't let this be another memory you bury. She handed Alina a drive, half-burned. Alina, what is this? Marie, the original Sigma key. It's coded to me. If I don't make it, you need to inject it into the vault. Alina shook her head. Alina, you're not dying. Marie, we all died once. Some of us just didn't stay that way. Beneath an ancient, red mountain, a circular elevator opened for the first time in 14 years. Dust poured from its sides. The gear screamed to life. Alina stepped inside alone. Marie stayed behind to cover the entrance, gun in one hand, bleeding from the other. The descent took 10 minutes, each level marked by glowing numbers. Sigma 7, Sigma 8, Sigma 7, Sigma. The final floor wasn't even numbered. It was lettered. The door hissed open. Inside, black glass walls, mirrors, looping holograms. A central table. On it, 5 profiles. Rourke. Shaw. Lee. Qasim. 000, status unknown. And beside it, a sealed chamber. Inside, a humanoid figure curled in a fetal position. Skin like porcelain. Veins lit by blue biolight. Eyes closed. She wasn't human, but she was breathing. A projection activated. Dr. Wren, the lead scientist. Echo Zero was never terminated. She went dormant the moment we tried to give her choice. We stored her here, in case war changed form. The figure stirred. The chamber lights flared. Alina backed away. The prototype was waking up. At the same time, Captain Reyes hijacked Kingsfield's secure channel. All feeds cut. Every base monitor across U.S. command flickered, then displayed his face. Reyes, you were told Echo never existed. But Echo existed to protect you. And now, you're trying to kill what's left of it. He uploaded the entire Aurelian Black file cache. Across the country, classified lies unraveled. People started asking questions. Command went silent. Back above, Aurelian dropships approached Vault Sigma. Marie, barely standing, aimed her rifle at the canyon entrance. She had 2 mags, 1 EMP round, and no backup. Marie, one last fight. She opened fire. The EMP knocked the first drone out. The second clipped her side. She still fired, until her weapon clicked dry, and her vision blurred. A hand grabbed her shoulder. Lee, Echo Unit 5. He pulled her behind a rock wall. Ellie, your message got through. Deep in Vault Sigma, Alina sat before a blinking console. It asked, upload memory drive? She inserted Marie's blood-coded key. Confirming identity. Match found. The room flooded with video. The real reason Echo was created, to create soldiers that felt so they could make choices machines never could. But when the prototypes started remembering trauma, Command shut them down. Buried them, Alina to herself. You created us, then ran from what you made. Behind her, thought the Echo Zero chamber was fully open. The figure stood, eyes glowing. Alive, but blank. Alina turned. The prototype stared at her. Not attacking, not speaking, watching. Then a single word escaped her lips. Echo 0. Home? Alina lowered her weapon. Alina, I don't know. But if you're still asking that word, you're more human than they ever were. E0 blinked, then sat beside her. Together, they watched the final video file fade. Back at Kingsfield, Reyes was tackled and cuffed by military police, but not before the entire Echo file archive had gone public. Around the world, protests began. Whistleblowers spoke. News anchors used the word Echo in headlines. They couldn't bury it again. Not this time. 2 days later, in a hidden compound in New Mexico, 4 people sat around a table. Rourke, Marie, Echo 0. They were silent, tired, but alive. Alina finally spoke. They thought we were machines. We're memory. We're choice, and we're not done yet. Fade out. In New York, protesters surrounded UN headquarters. In Berlin, news tickers displayed the words, Project Echo confirmed. Pentagon silent. Aurelian denies all. Meanwhile, a leaked video of Rourke's fight with Zara had gone viral. Alina's eyes, fierce, human, defiant, were now a symbol, not of a program, but of a movement. Inside a dusty bunker in New Mexico, 4 figures gathered around a flickering hologram. Target Aurelian HQ, London. Purpose? Locate and expose server core number 1. Objective: stream all Echo data live to the world. Alina led the briefing. Alina, no drones. No orbital strikes. We go in, we walk out, or we don't come back. Ellie, I like simple. Marie smiled, her arm in a sling. Even Echo 0 stood still, unsilent, but listening. Reyes, now in chains, was loaded into a military convoy en route to federal court. 2 MPs sat beside him. One checked a tablet. Suddenly, a GPS interference. The convoy slowed, then stopped. Smoke burst from the trees. Motorcycles roared from both sides. Black helmets. No insignias. Within seconds, the rear doors were ripped open. Marie stood there, grinning. Marie. Field trip. Reyes blinked, then smiled. Night before the mission. Alina sat beside a cracked mirror in the safe house. She rolled up her shirt. The tattoo across her spine, coordinates etched in military ink. She always thought they were a mistake, but now she traced them again. Marie walked in, holding a decoded file. Marie. I ran the numbers again. She paused. Marie. They point to a pre-1970s Cold War station underground beneath London. Guess who built their HQ on top of it? Alina stared. The coordinates weren't a scar. They were a key. Aurelian HQ, London. Tonorayam? A sky full of cloud. Security drones hummed overhead. Guards patrolled steel walkways over floodlit glass. But inside the walls, in a forgotten sublevel, a Cold War hatch opened. Alina and her team climbed through, Echo 0 moving effortlessly behind her. Marie cracked the security gate. Lee disarmed a seismic sensor. Reyes moved toward the comm center. Reyes, when this goes live, there's no coming back. Alina, we never left. Top floor. Vaughn's office. Glass walls. City lights. Untouched wine. He turned slowly as the door opened. Alina stepped in. Vaughn, you came a long way to die. Alina, no, I came to remind you what you built. She pulled a vial from her vest, the neuroserum they once used to wipe Echo minds. She dropped it to the floor. Smashed. Alina, that era's over. She shot out the camera. In the server chamber, alarms blared. Guards approached from both tunnels. Marie and Lee held them off. Echo 0 walked up to the primary core. Paused. Inside her, old code began to pulse. But this time she made a choice. She inserted her own neural link. Uploaded not the mission logs, but her memories. Her pain. Her questions. Her dreams. Every phone buzzed. Every screen turned blue. Then the faces appeared. Alina Rourke. Marie Shaw. Echo 0. Zara Qasim. Even early prototypes, their fates unknown. Their stories. Their missions. Their silence. Their erasure. Now exposed. Reyes detonated the internal bridge. The Aurelian mainframe melted in its vault. Outside, the building went dark. Inside, Vaughn tried to escape. But Echo 0 blocked the exit. She said nothing. Just stepped aside and let Alina finish it. One shot. Clean. Washington, D.C. Hearings begin. McKellen testifies, bruised but calm. New York. Murals of Alina rise on brick walls. Kids copy her spine tattoo in chalk. Berlin. A plaque is unveiled. In memory of those erased. Alina sits alone on a rooftop. Echo Zero walks up, hands her a folded paper. Inside, a child's drawing. Stars, jets, a little girl flying. Alina quiet. Where'd you get this? Echo Zero. I drew it. I think? Alina nods, smiles, then whispers, echoes are louder than orders. Fade to black.